The man in this video is 44-year-old Stephen McDowell, unaware that he's being recorded. Stephen has meticulously planned how to make his ex-wife, Crystal McDowell, disappear in one of the biggest hurricanes Texas has ever seen.
How confident are you that she was not a victim of this storm?
I'm very confident.
Stephen believed that Hurricane Harvey would wipe out any evidence of what he had done, but faced with the truth...
Did you have anything to do with the disappearance? Is that you? That could be it could.
Stephen will realize that his perfect cover-up isn't perfect at all.
You got caught. This is the factor. I told you that it was only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I know this is tearing you up. I know it's eating you up inside, but you got to let it out, brother.
It's an early morning in late August 2017, one day before Hurricane Harvey's due to hit Texas. 37-year-old Crystal McDowell seen leaving boyfriend Paul Hargrave's house on her way to pick up her two kids at the home she shares with ex-husband Steve McDowell, who she divorced just 2 months prior after 10 years of marriage. But this security footage is the last time she's ever seen alive. Crystal's not only a devoted mom, she's a successful real estate agent with a prominent role in her Baytown, Texas community. And if not for the incoming storm, she would have had 2 appointments to show houses today. But as the hours go on and the storm gets closer, Crystal's family fails to reach her, and Steve claims she never showed up to get the kids. Her uncle Jeff, the man who raised her after both her parents died when she was young, files a missing persons report the next day. But with the worst hurricane Texas has ever seen bearing down on them, police can only do so much. Historic flooding, damaged communications, and low manpower make the investigation near impossible. But then, authorities get their first major break. Crystal's abandoned Mercedes is found half submerged in a Motel 6 parking lot about 10 minutes from her home, with the key still inside.
Crystal McDowell's car was found submerged in this Motel 6 parking lot, roughly 13 miles from her home.
The cops were here busting in doors to find out where this lady is.
Police say it was likely parked here before the water rose.
Now, police are left with 3 theories. Either Crystal ran away, she's trapped by the storm, or she's the victim of a crime, and the hurricane itself is being used to cover it up. But as cleanup begins and the investigation continues, police uncover multiple clues involving Steve, and alarming stories from Crystal's family about his unstable behavior during the failed marriage. Crystal worked as a flight attendant before her career in real estate, after which she became the main breadwinner. And while it was a job she loved, it caused serious tension in the home. Her multiple affairs led to the first breakdown in the marriage, which resulted in Steve threatening to take his own life. And while the couple reconciled, by 2017 everyone knew the marriage was over. Everyone except Steve, who again threatened to end it all unless Crystal stayed, and this time he vowed to take the kids with him. But Crystal divorced him anyway, and as she waited for her new townhouse to be ready to move into, she tried her best to keep things stable at home for the kids. Now, 2 months later, she's completely disappeared, and right in the middle of the chaos of Hurricane Harvey. But when police search her cell phone records, they find their biggest lead yet. Her phone activity stopped right after she arrived home to pick up the kids. Now, with the story of the missing woman all over the news, authorities are more confident than ever there was foul play involved.
How confident are you that she was not a victim of this storm?
I'm very confident. She is not a victim of this storm.
Then another break. Despite the rain wiping away all evidence in the Mercedes, security footage from a Shell gas station next to the Motel 6 is recovered. And while it shows the vehicle being backed into the spot, the driver disappears into the darkness. But 5 hours later, that same gas station camera captures Steve pulling in and parking, and then walking to the motel, seemingly to check if the Mercedes is still there. He's also seen stuffing large plastic bags into trash cans that, due to the storm, are never recovered. But if he ditched Crystal's Mercedes at the motel, how'd he get home? Authorities wondered the same thing, and footage from a nearby Walmart answers the question. Because Steve's not only seen purchasing a bike, but riding it in the direction of his house some 13 miles away. So while detectives don't have enough evidence yet to make an arrest, they have more than enough to haul Steve in for questioning, and even though they reassure him he's not in trouble, there's a chance that all that changes very soon, especially with the firepower of the Texas Rangers behind the case.
So thanks for coming in, Steve. Obviously, you and I have met a couple times already. I want to introduce Billy Holland. He's a sergeant with the Rangers. He's one of the guys that's come in to help me do what we're doing. We brought some other resources down so that we're actively working this thing with everything that we have. I'm going to let Jimmy explain that a little bit. But you're not in trouble. Say it like we talked about the other day. You're not in trouble. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want. The door's unlocked. At any point in time, you don't want to visit. You don't want to talk to me anymore. You're free to go. Understand that? Okay. Jimmy got a few things he wants to explain to you then. I'm going to ask you to kind of take me through this thing again. Jimmy just got on board today. He just started helping me with this today, so in lieu of me having to go through everything that we've already talked about, get you to kind of walk us through this. It's not to trick you up or anything like that. So I'm trying to put you in the fire. But if I can get him spun up so we can better do what we're doing, we've got, we probably got 20, 25 DEA agents out working right now looking for some stuff. We've got a handful of Rangers that are out looking for some stuff. That thing. So we're doing what we can for you. I'm going to let you explain. So what I do, I'm going to use phrase. You know much about the Rangers. I would rather not say about that. All I do is take it. Okay. Well, I'm a little bit different. Steve has a geographical area. My area is kind of the state, what they call a unit ranger. I only do one thing, but that's murder investigation. Primarily serial killers, ritual arrested killings, dismemberments, and stuff. I'm specifically assigned to the governor's office. I know you've been watching the news about all the floods like that. You know that President Trump came up here and met before about floods and everything that's going on. The governor's office has an initiative, and I'm one of these 6 unit guys. So when something happens in the state, usually, to be honest with you, it's because family members complaining or something's going on. They call the governor's office, and you get bothered a lot. And the governor picks up the phone or tells Colonel DPS, Chief Rangers, Jimmy, need to get down there and go deal with this. And what I do is I go to that area, and my deal is 100%. That's my grade. That's why I have the job that I have. It's a cush deal. It's not that hard for me because what comes with me is a lot of extra money. So through DNA initiatives, aircraft, you name it, at any given time, I can bring in $2 or $3 million worth of resources. And DNA testing, which might take the sheriff's department a year, did something. It might take them a year to get DNA back. If it's me, I can make a phone call or just bring back and point towards it. But I have a great job, but I'm expected to solve things. In other words, I'm giving all these resources, everything is going on, and it's for one reason, because I get things done. And see, we're good buddies. We go way back. And I guess the family's been calling the governor's office. The governor reached out to me and said, hey, see what we can do to help them out. So right now, that's a group of guys, and I'm stuck here. I'm not from here, but I am stuck here until this thing is done. So we'll solve this and we'll figure out what happens. And you've been watching the news with all the missing persons and everything like that. Only what I do with them on Facebook, honestly, and must try to well, the Rangers specifically have right now, we've got a federal grant that's going out to the governor's office, and it's all these people that were missing because of the hurricane, whether it be Rockport or the flooding that occurred here in Houston. They want real every single person. Did they wash away? Are they in a creek bed? Did they go out in the ocean? Are they, in their attic? And basically what we're doing is knocking on doors and finding answers to that. There is only 2 or 3 of these things left, which is considered a missing person that they have this initiative this form. All 3 of these I promise you will be solved. Some of them there may be foul play, others may be natural stuff. But at the end of the day, my only goal in life is I want to go home. I got shit that I do. You know, and I want to get back to that. This is a great place, but I really don't want to stay at the hotel at Baytown, right? I don't get the hell out of here. So I can't get done and leave until we're done. So I ask for your help. As Baytown here to do anything and everything that we can do to make sure that there's okay.
While the kind detective reassures Steve he's not in trouble, Agent Jimmy from the Texas Rangers swoops in with far more aggressive energy. But if Steve really did have nothing to do with Crystal's disappearance, he'd be relieved such resources were being used to handle the case. But if he did have something to do with it, then this show of force would be the perfect way to knock him off balance from the start, as well bringing up Crystal's many affairs, including with women.
That element. And now the all. What? So hang on for you. So in 2007, you meet this girl in 2005, and at the time she's basically telling you she's a chick pay guys. I knew she was. Okay. Okay. Well, originally when we started in up, we were just friends. She only liked girls. So we started hung out and friends. You know, she was like, hey, you want to go out here? You want to do hyper? Go to the morning or battleship? I was just want to hang out with me or whatever. Like, sure, you know, because I mean, you're just thinking she's a smoking hot chick. I mean, she's smoking hot. Oh, right here. So she's smoking hot chick who wants to be my friend. And well, she's friendly with family too. Okay, I did rip. Okay. So you watch. So you watch. Hang on now, you're supposed to. Why you gotta say that? No, wait. I mean, you know, she's messed around with this pilot too, I guess. I knew that she dated him. So 2007, he actually helped her. I think he took a deposit on her Audi TT. They helped her get that. It was hard. So 2007, when you say I do, did you say I don't do women anymore, or is it like kind of understood that, hey, I love you, baby, I'm gonna give you some, but you know, I gotta keep myself back at the side too. I mean, they're like this, but this is monogamous. 2007, no more chicks. Far enough. What do you mean as far as you know? I mean, she's a violent. No, but I mean, she's saying that. Yes. But you know, I talked to Randy, I just spent on it 10 years, and throughout the last 10 years, they've been active. Throughout the last 10 years, Randy was just a contract. Did you ask her about it? She told me they don't talk. Did she say you? Right? How did you please? And again, you know, it fears things. At least we talked about, you know, today in Europe, like she's had anywhere from 10 to 12 different, you know, she's had relationships without to talk, but they're being shit. So, and a lot of the stuff that we found, he's denied, and then he has done some other things. What we're looking to do. She bringing home any prisons? Getting around that much? No, after Mario, I thought she know like went to level as well. So she can come back to dig it. Now, is there any way that he's out of because everybody did for the next 6 months? You got to go. And I know actually, I know he's had a lot more on your life. Or you, I did great. Tell me that we've lost. Well, I think supposed to go his way at 220. So, and your picture shows you to be about 210, 220. Now, that was probably like 2 years. That I said probably when I started working at that time, or it's still that's not being bored. You know, because before with Excel, I was now it was pretty comfy. And it really was very active, but working at Excel and Lever Product, I was more active and they were more health conscious. They just do exercise, that's full track, walk or whatever. And go to walk. It was when I started working there, 2014. It was probably when I was like So the other guys, the other to the left, told me about him. But and you're good with all that? I mean, same up there. Good with that. I told her, I was like, oh, I'm not cool. You know, it's either me or nothing. You know, and I was like, I mean, I'm one who's loyal. You don't want to be a part of this relationship. You don't want to be a family. You can do your own thing. What did she say? She says, sorry, that's hungry. It's my fault. We work too much. Never around. What's your fault? Well, 12 guys are not so big. I don't know. I just know that it was a number you gave me. I didn't come up with a number, and I actually know that the numbers are higher than that. But you gave me 12.
If foul play is involved in Crystal's disappearance, a possible motive just became clear. Because despite Steve and Crystal's marriage being officially over, it seems the hurt feelings caused by her years of infidelity may have stuck around. And now she was already moving on with a new boyfriend just 2 months after the divorce was final. Is there a chance this pushed Steve's jealousy over the edge into a murderous rage? To find out, authorities start at the last time he allegedly spoke with Crystal.
So we go around to Saturday. What time did you get up on Saturday, which would be the 22nd? Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah. So this is 1724. My military time starts. So 5:24 p.m. But yeah, what's that? So when's the last time? Up in Florida, that's about. What is the voice call? Mm-hmm. That was voice call report. By Friday. So you're texting all through the day on Friday, Thursday. And well, if you got Friday, you got text going to. Yeah. They said it's fine back on Friday. I don't think she's running back yet. So she's in the gray, right? So Friday, 7:01, on my way, you have water. What's that about? She wasn't bad water. So, and then she's basically saying that she's going to stay there with you. Spending that day with. So, where was she going to take you? Yeah, actually, if you back up a little bit, the text from Thursday night, I'm like, well, where's she supposed to be Thursday night? You're asking, you're saying, Molly, we thought you were going to be home before she fell asleep. Right. So they tell me she was. So where was she at? I mean, I know. Hell, where? Where? She was in your iPhone. I like that. Well, where did she spend it? How do you know she was coming to your iPhone? That was Paul. Talked to the reporter, and he wait to say that I don't. So I talked to her Friday morning. She never makes it to the house on Friday. You never see her on Friday. All right. So this Saturday night. You don't go anywhere on Friday, right? Is standing up. Saturday. So I remember it's for Dallas whenever after the sheriff's department came to the house. I said the message that he was just was right Saturday. What not was. We'll back. So we go Saturday morning, 26. What time do you get up in the morning? Yes. So you're up at Saturday of 26. You say you're up at 6. Okay. What do you do Saturday? You go anywhere to home? Yeah, what? Sheriff's department came to the house and tell me that she was missing. Yeah, I heard from her. What it was before I would have taken it. Good. Before, but you know how much you when that's what time did you go there? About right is about what time? What was that? Oh, is it more or less because It was great. And so from the time that she got up 7 o'clock to going to the townhouse, time before lunchtime, did you go or stop anywhere? So you went right from your house over to the townhouse. You didn't stop anywhere. You were at the gas station, you didn't go where it. Or like a barely the road, I was walking up 99, to get there as quickly as I could. Because everything's moving. They took out there. They didn't check. People tell, I don't check. And what day is this to your memory? What's Saturday? Saturday the 26th. Is that correct? Isn't that the day that they told you that she was missing?
Steve gives a detailed description of his movements the day Crystal went missing, but there's one big problem. Cops know he's lying, and security footage proves it. So as they begin the first of many confrontations, Steve's asked outright what he had to do with his ex-wife's disappearance.
I understand people have their breaking points. But what you just told me, that your day, so it's not the truth. I can curve where you're at. I know where you're at. And that's why I want you to tell me where you're at on Saturday. If you want to continue to go, try, I'll pull the video and show you. Okay, you're caught in the lie. Where did you go Saturday? What did you do Saturday? I don't know how. So what did you do before the townhouse? What time did you get up Saturday? How far away do you live from 146? Roughly. The Motel 6 right there. The location of the car was down. How far away is it? How much over? So you're telling me that you were at how far is the town hall from there? Do you know where I'm talking about? Do you know the Motel 6 where her car was sent? You're on video. At 6:30 in the morning, roughly. You're on video. Yes, sir. Backing her car in, the black Mercedes. Backs in. The person driving that car. You. Gets out. Walks around the front of the shell. By the car wash. You're taking something in your right hand. How is that? That's why I'm asking you. And then, guess what happens at 2:30? You return. In the Mustang, in the Shelby, you go underneath the shell, you park, you get out and you walk back towards the car is parked. You can obviously look at you, but look at the black car. You will return back to your car. You open up the trunk. You take a couple things out of the trunk. 2 trips. First one, you got something dark in your hand. Put it in the trash can. Not only do you put it in the trash can, but put it in the trash can and then you push it all the way down up to your armpit. That's what I'm asking you. What did you push down in the trash can?
Interesting thing was a phone call with Scott, which was the other 3 rangers that came down here with. He used our helicopter. We located the gas can or the trash can, which is washed out now in its entirety. It was an ice machine washed out. And that is now the contact that allows way to Austin. So, and then you return back to your truck, reach into the bar and Rick and pull out something. It looks like paperwork. And you just throw it in there and into your car. And you drive off. You remember that? So what would that be? What do you mean? What would I be throwing away? That's what I'm asking you. You don't recall being. I love that. Nobody had gas. You get gas up, you never asked for gas. They didn't have gas. How do you know? A lot of people. Yes. How do you know? This is Saturday. The storm hasn't even hit good yet. Gas hasn't dried up yet. The storm hasn't even hit anything. You don't remember being at the Shell station at 146 at I-10. So am I lying or are you lying? I don't recall. Like I said, for another day, I'm worried about my wife. Where's she at? Well, you look right at her car. You dropped off earlier. And you walked right by it, and you look right at the car. You walk down a short distance, you go off the camera, and then you return back to your car, and then that's when you throw the stuff. You get things out of your trunk and throw it away. And what would be the point? What's the purpose of immediately handling? Have you before you found the car? Yes, sir. Before they found the car. How is that possible? Well, acting like you. Because I don't know where the car was. You look right at the car. It's a car that you know. It's a car that is familiar to you. It's a car that you parked there. It's captured on video. You parked it there, and I can see you and your bald head get out of the car wearing just about the same outfit you're wearing today.
Steve hasn't only been caught in a lie. He's been confronted with irrefutable evidence linking him to Crystal's disappearance. But that doesn't mean he's giving up so easily, and neither are these investigators, who have no problem using harsh language to describe his allegedly promiscuous ex-wife.
You're a smart guy. You got 2 kids. The whole area is being ravaged by a hurricane, all kinds of things going on. And right now, we want closure for the family because they're going to keep bugging. And we want the governor to be happy, say that we found all the missing people and everything like that. And herein lies an opportunity for you. It's an opportunity for you to do the right thing, which maybe you don't care about, but you should care what other people say, meaning the district attorney, the governor of the state of Texas, right? All these people who want to solve this thing because they have enough shit to worry about. They don't need 48 hours and 2020 and everything else coming up here, right? All they want is solve. There's a scale, and that scale goes from A to Z. A is self-defense, accident, and Z is premeditated, cold-blooded murder. Okay? A to Z can be filled in by you, and this is the opportunity. We're not going to argue with you. We're not going to say anything. Because at the end of the day, your wife, right, 2 children, excuse me, but she's what? She's one of their brother. Man, woman, she's going on these streets as a flight attendant, she's a boss, she's getting all this stuff, all right? Where's the homeowner?
Well, technically a work partner. It's the homeowner, sorry, not Jeff.
All this shit's going on. All this shit's going on, right? And you know about it, and you've confronted her, and you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to keep the family together, you're trying to keep the kids together, doing everything that everyone thinks you should do. But she didn't give a shit, and she's still going out. Now herein lies your opportunity. From A to Z, you fill the blanks. And if you don't fill in the blanks, then we're going to fill in the blanks.
All right, I like that. Y'all have my phone?
Hey, we're past that. We're getting a video drop.
This makes nothing to us at this point. All your phone has done up to this point is cooperate Wednesday and a cooperate Thursday. We've got video of her leaving Paul's house. We know that it's a short trip. She even tells us right here that she's on her way to you. Something either happened, she either made it to your house, and something happened within your house, or the short, which I believe happened. I think she came to the house. Like I said, there's cameras all over the neighborhood. There's one of the, listen to me. We have canvassed the area for those cameras. Some of them are dummy cameras. Some of them aren't functional. Some of them aren't showing the things that would tend to show the things that you think they're going to show. But what I can tell you, listen to me for a second. What I can tell you is, yes, this is cool. It tells me what you did on Wednesday. It tells me part of what you did on Thursday. But this thing does very little to show me what you did on Friday. It shows me that you didn't do shit on Saturday. But what does show me happened on Saturday, we've got on 2 different videos. I know on Saturday at approximately 6:37 p.m. or a.m. that you are backing that black Mercedes of your wife's into the parking lot at the Motel 6. I know that shortly thereafter that you get out and you walk to the front. And then I lose you off of the front on where you go after it goes past the car wash. When you walk to the front, dressed very similar to how you dress now. I know, without a doubt, you come back at approximately 10:30 something. Back to that, you pull underneath the cabin in your blue Mustang that you know that I know well. I went through your Mustang the other day with you out here, so I know your car. I know you. I know I can pick you out of anywhere nowadays. And it's you clearing the bell, getting out of the car, walk back towards where the car is parked. It is very obvious because it's right here. Instead of walking this direction, as you walk in this direction, you were like this, with your eyes looking right at that car. I go off camera. I catch you coming back on the camera. That's when you go to your car, you pocket your trunk, and then the rest of it I've already disclosed you. That is indisputable. On Saturday, August 26th, at those times, I know that you were there. Doesn't matter what this says. I know that you were there. This can be manipulated. These can be turned off. I'm not worried about this on Saturday. Or you're not hearing. We're past the phone. You're hung up on the phone. You were hung up on this the other day. And I told you we'll be back to revisit this.
But it helps you. You know why it helps you? It helps you because everyone in the brother knows that every gas station in the state of Texas has a buttload of cameras, right? Especially one near the interstate. And that goes to show is you being the smart person you are outside your head right now. You're not thinking what you're doing. All right, you're oblivious. Something bad has happened because otherwise you would not have done something stupid. And that's your opportunity. You know, if this is self-defense, we're not going to sit here and argue with you. All right. Has she attacked you in the past? Has she hit you, thrown shit at you, pulled a gun?
Has never fought.
Well, it tells what happens.
I told you everything that I know up to this point. I played on everything. Like I said, if you want to verify where it was, I'm sure there's bank records.
Hey, we're
that. Do I need to show you the video for you to believe me? Do I need to show you the video for you to believe me? Because last time y'all said that I said, Paul, here's the question. Do I need to show you the video for you to believe me on what I just said? Yeah.
Despite Steve's best efforts to cover his tracks, investigators simply aren't buying it, and there's no way he can bluff his way out of the footage they're about to show him, although that doesn't mean he won't try. And if you love watching killers try to lie their way out of crimes, terribly, subscribe. That's literally all we do here.
So, there's you walking back. There. Is that you? You good? Somebody said, look like me? Yeah, looks like me. All right, well, it gets better. Gets better. It's your car. Looks like my car.
The trooper video on the right will show that's your license plate.
Still the next one. Each one gets a little better. Is that you? I saw the videos a while ago where you're walking that way. Breathe. You? With a all velvet hat shirt on? Okay. So, yes, that you? Who is that now? I don't know. Okay, so what do you think about that address? I think, the second one I believe is belonging out of, me personally, I believe it's stuff out of the glove box. The paperwork out of the glove box. I think it's someone maybe their clothing item. That I don't know until I get to work in the trash. But I believe it was her clothing item. Because it looked like possibly the last dress that she was wearing when she left. Me personally, I could be wrong on that, but there is no doubt, Steve. There's no doubt. You parked that car. You walked. Here for a couple hours, and you see it as well as I do you back. You left the keys in the car, hoping somebody was going to steal that car. And you came back, and to your chagrin, the car is still there. But good. And then we get the rain, it floods, it can't go. And maybe the car's down. Somebody reports finding the car, and the car is, same spot. I know that where you parked it. So I don't know what else to say.
Unfortunately, the trash can Steve was seen stuffing items into was never found. But despite the storm, authorities are still able to uncover large amounts of evidence, including the all-too crucial security footage. And witness testimony, including from Steve's own close friends, would paint a damning picture of his true feelings toward his ex-wife.
I actually talked to one of your friends that you went to Galveston with a couple of weeks, or back in March. What's his last name? Where'd you go to Galveston with your meeting down there? You brought the kids over into on there. Big guy? What's his name? Charles. Charles Ray. Talked to Charles. Remember visit with him when you were down there on the Galveston trip? I went and visited with Charles. I visited with him about 1 o'clock this morning. And one of the things that I remember you talking about, you were depressed. You were upset about what was going on. And you vividly remembers you voicing, you've had thoughts about it. And in the event that you did, you yourself afterwards. You were upset. When you were for a couple of weeks ago? Well, he said that he died. I talked to him yesterday, but he said this when y'all read March, or whenever it was, when y'all went down to Galveston, he reached out to you, from what I understand, told you, hey, I understand you're on the bad times about March and when the divorce stuff was happening, wasn't it? Is that whatever? Did you go to Galveston to meet with him down around that area? That's okay. Is there anything in this video that you want to explain to us? Is there anything you want to tell us? Okay, tell me the other ones. Is there any reason you drop off your wife? I mean, why would I pick that place? I just drop it off. Because you were out of your mind, you weren't thinking about the damn video. I don't think you were thinking right. It's rainy, like you talked about. I don't know. I think it, like you said, I think it was one of those deals that they pissed you off. It was one of those deals. Oh my, I think it was a mistake. I don't think you did it on purpose. Hence the reason that your knuckles are hurting. Like I told you the other day, I think the reason me personally, and ultimately I think they'll tell me different. I think they'll tell us what you did. I think, me personally, and then after you found out after that happened, you freaked out and you punched something, and that's how you hurt. I think she attacked him. I think he's a better. So I don't think you shot her. I don't think you cut her. I don't think any of that happened. I think it was a mutual contact deal with that. We don't fight. You don't even call her your name. Your kids say it right. We interviewed your kids. Remember Sunday night? Both of your kids said you fight. Every couple fights. They said they hear you fight and argue on a regular basis. Even the 5-year-olds. So right now, you know what it comes down to? In all seriousness, it's mitigation. At this point, either you fill in the details, and this could be self-defense, this could be sudden passion. It could be all kinds of different things. You can say that. We're not going to argue. All right, period. We're just not going to sit here and we'll take your story and then we'll take that to the DA and there won't be any surprises. We'll visit with her, tell her you cooperated, you're cooperating, you told us what happened, all that stuff. And then you got this little A to C to deal with, which is much better than the Z. What's the middle? The middle is, she told you she was leaving you and taking the kids and you got in a fight. Whatever happened, and she dies. And what's the whole point? Well, I know she's not going to, because you're not going to let her. And what's S to Z? S to Z is you just leave it right here like this. In our case, it's done. Okay? And then the DA is going to fill in the blanks for that, and it's going to be capital murder. But you have an opportunity. You understand the opportunity. You don't have to listen to us. All right? Or you don't have to believe us. Just listen to us. And think about this. You live in a county that's full of Judeo-Christians. Your district attorney, all right, your grand jury, your attorneys, your district judge, all these people. Do you know what the number one rule of Christianity is? The first 2 rules. Number 1 is you got to spread the gospel, all right? And number 2 is you got to forgive. Man, I've seen people who have said they're sorry, it was a mistake, it was an accident, and they apologized. And I've seen life be very good stuff. You're not an idiot. You know you're not going to walk out of here and do absolutely nothing. You know that you're going to get something for this.
But that's something that could be litigation. You know, you go back, you finish your degree in TDCJ or do whatever you want for a shorter period of time because you cooperated, because it was sudden passion, the self-defense. Yeah. It goes to the next stage. But I see people walk in, right, and if they say they're sorry, Christian, everyone here is a Christian, all right, in this community. I don't care if you are, if you believe in it, if you don't believe in it. I could care less if you have any remorse. But what you have to understand is it's about others. You know, the proverb from the Bible, it has to be about others. I don't think that you're probably sorry for anything, to tell you the truth. I think that this shit happened, it's been out of control. It doesn't matter, but what matters is you have to convince that DA, you have to convince that jury and that grand jury that you feel bad about what happened and that you're sorry. Okay? And that's how you move forward in a positive way.
But you're trying to get me to argue that I didn't do.
We don't need you to own up to anything. We don't need you to own up to anything.
Did you park your car there?
No.
Is that you walking through the gas station? It looks like we better know.
And do you think a defense attorney is ever going to put you on the stand and let you explain all this stuff? No, because no one's going to believe it. That no one's going to happen. You have an opportunity today. You have an opportunity today, all right, to tell your story and not to have us argue against you or say anything else, but corroborate that story. So that's your opportunity. And that window on that opportunity is closing quick. All right? This is your time. You're at a crossroads in life. You're on the Grand Canyon. You're fixing to jump off the edge of it, right? And there's two guys standing here with parachutes to make sure you don't smash the wreck. But you control your destiny. You steer the boat. It's your decision what you want to do, but you're done on this. Please don't make a mistake. All right, whether it's your kids or you. I mean, unless you're sadomasochistic and you want to go sit in an 8x8 room and use the same sink that you use as a toilet on death row. No, there's no reason for it. It's just stupid. And you know what? At the end of the day, you're a smart guy and already know what you're going to do because you have no choice. And you're smart and you're going to do the right thing. Because you have no choice. You're backed into a ballot. You're in a situation. You think you can be the determining factor into what this happens. You can have an opportunity to get yourself in the line. Hell, for all I know, you know, say hypothetically, hypothetically that she attacks me and I defend myself. Say it for a second. Hypothetically, I defended myself. Say it. Hypothetically, I defended myself. Are we? Say it. Hypothetically, I defended myself. Yeah. Just say it for 1 second. Hypothetically, I defended myself. Hypothetically, you know what? You're in a good position. You're in a good position because if you're defending yourself, then you take murder off the table. You're in a good position because if you're defending yourself, then you took murder off the table. What's the worst thing that's out there? Capital murder, murder. You can take those both off the table with self-defense. Hypothetically, this is self-defense. Because all you have to do, tell us what happened. She attacked you, she threw something, she pulled out a knife, she did nothing. And all you got to do is say it. And, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. And you know what? We're going to take it to the DA. There's no surprise. There's no nothing. You know what? If it's self-defense, then the worst thing that you're looking at is what you did with the body. And if you give the family closure and there's corroboration in it, maybe you shouldn't do anything with that. But who cares? It's class A mystery.
The movie I pictured right before, you know, we day before, be slow, be hungry. You won't sit out and walk and stretch it. Let's try back and chill from that. Get some air.
Steve's clearly unable to grasp just how dead to rights detectives have him, but during a break, authorities hope the shock of being caught wears off, and once Texas Ranger Jimmy gets some alone time with him, he'll finally be convinced that confessing is his only option.
Jacob, please. You already know it's already. I don't know what else to say or do. I know you're in a different mindset. I still believe in some way, shape, or form that this was an accident. This was not something that you meant to happen. But I can't think of another opportunity.
What are we going to do to get you in the place or even you feel confident? film this. Because obviously we've gotten this close a couple times, come close a couple times to tell them the story. And then you gather yourself, you pull back again, and then it's almost like we not necessarily start over, but we talk. And you get to the point where you feel like you want to tell the story. I know you're scared. I heard you say that, you're not ready to face the reality. And ready to face reality. Well, the reality is, the reality is she's not ever out of one. But that's the reality. That's the reality. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that this is a missing person, a mistake that happened. But the reality is, she's a missing person as a result of something happening to her. She didn't leave on her own accord. She's just not tired of life and went off suddenly. That's not what happened. You know that? I know.
Steve's been less than truthful about nearly everything, but there's something else he hasn't been honest about: the explosive nature of his and Crystal's fights, some of which involved the police, and concerns he may harm the young ones, as recently as just a few months ago.
You said that you guys have never had a bad fight before. You've never threatened anybody or anything like that. Never threatened them all. This is the police report from Baytown back in March. Part of the narrative that I read here looks like the incident happened on Ward. Is that the townhome, or is that? You guys are at the townhome, I guess, when this happened? Yes. Officers report, blah, 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 blah. I Gonzales dispatch, which part of the lobby referenced a family problem. Upon allowed the police to make contact with Crystal. Crystal began advising she was going to the warrant to get a husband, like you. Crystal advised that she's concerned about children's safety. Crystal identified the children. Stephen made threats hurting Crystal, hurting the kid and himself, for them. Well, and that's what they said when they talked to me, that you my cancer. And denied that. They denied ever seeing it. I wasn't there. They never talked to you. So, did they ever talk to you? The police ever talked to you? Never? Never took they talked. Crystal continued by his on Saturday morning, 3/18/117. Stable was trying to be intimate with her. Crystal informed me that since the divorce process began, she no longer shows affection towards Stephen. So on this day, when Stephen was trying to be intimate with Crystal turned him down, which caused Stephen to get upset. Afterwards, Stephen left with the kids for the day. Crystal advised that she left to go to work. However, Crystal said that Stephen not returned home Saturday morning. Crystal tried to call Stephen on several occasions and advised the phone rings. There is no answer. Is that the weekend that you went to Galveston with kids? Oh, you went to Austin with kids on that one?
Can I kind of Okay, so my take on everything that he's saying, which I knew nothing about, but what I told you earlier is that we're good at what we do, and we have tons of assets. We have tons of people up here, and that the evidence against you is only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And what I'm getting from this, you got a Baytown officer who's going to testify where criminals say you're going to kill her at some point. They take the kids. That's what he's going to testify to. And now you got and you have two of her best friends that are going to get up there and testify on the stand that you've already talked about killing her. So from where we started this morning, right?
I was never threatened.
Okay.
I've never even called her.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. From where we started this morning, I told you that it was only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And already today, it's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And most things are just even more so. But you know what? All of it still doesn't matter. All it does is build on the original thing. And I know people want shit. What's bad about? Like, nothing's bad about her? No. But you're missing the point.
she's telling her friends the things that are happening in your life, you and her lives. I've got a friend that I confide in. All of us have got that one friend. I don't know if you've got one that you confide in. It sounds like you've got a long ranger in your world from everything that we say. Yeah, we talked to your family and they didn't know you were divorced or she was married. Your own, that's not what they told. They said they learned about Susan Nickett on Facebook, not by you. I don't talk to them. But that's your own sister and your mom. Every 1 hour 10, you talk to your mom every day. So your mom's lying? Really talk to any records. You don't talk to celebration. How else do you talk to your mom? Rare. How it's rare. So why would I have the impression that she got stock radio? If so, there would be phone records. They have watch here on holiday. Sisters live within blocks. And you don't know what's out there when I meet the girls, baby. That's just weird.
Steve would leave that day without giving a confession, but realizing it was only a matter of time before police made an arrest, he'd return just a few days later to confess to everything. In his interview with officers, Stephen would go on to explain how after leaving Paul's house, Crystal drove to Stephen's place to see the kids. It was at this point that an argument broke out between the two, with Stephen being increasingly jealous of Crystal and unable to accept that she had moved on. As the argument slowly spiraled, Stephen would lose it completely, resorting to strangling Crystal and then disposing of her in a wooded area in western Chambers County, Texas. Then Stephen tried to stage her Mercedes at a Motel 6 parking lot, as if Crystal had simply vanished. And that was also why he was caught on security cameras circling back around the area, not to help find Crystal, but to check whether the car was still there and whether his cover-up had worked. Because of this confession, Stephen was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to 50 years in prison. But for the children he shared with Crystal, nothing will ever bring their mom back, or take away the painful knowledge that their own father was the one who killed her, while they were mere feet away. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.